Anfield roared and Liverpool answered. This wasn't just 3 points. This was a message. Liverpool play like champions.
On the positive front, to score 4 goals and still have way more time to get better.
They move like champions. And with these new signings, they look terrifying. Diogo, ruthless, relentless, unstoppable. The man of the match. The man who already looks destined to score over 20 goals this season.
Liverpool needed a striker. They needed that number 9. And when you get a start like that against a big money signing, it's perfect.
Florian Wirtz involved in everything, still adjusting to the Premier League, but you can already feel the danger in every touch. Jeremy Frimpong, a jet on the right flank, showing exactly why Arne Slot fought to bring him here. Milos Kerkez returning to face his former club and proving he's the future on that left side. And then the familiar heroes. Mohamed Salah, flawless. Alexis McAllister, magnificent. Cody Gakpo, brutal in attack. And in a poetic twist, Federico Chiesa became the unexpected hero of the day. But not everything was perfect, because Liverpool also showed something else, a weakness. Virgil van Dijk tried to hold the line, but this defence, it's still fragile.
But the negative is clearly defensively. They looked ragged at times. And at 2-2, we weren't sure what was going to happen, let's be honest.
Slot's number 1 target this summer was Dean Huijsen, and they only secured a centre-back yesterday.
Giovanni Leoni to Liverpool. Here we go, deal agreed for the Italian talented defender to leave Parma and join Liverpool Football Club. He strongly wanted his move to Anfield, a big opportunity for the Italian centre-back, 18 years old, joining Arne Slot and Richard Hughes' project at Liverpool. The agreement between clubs is done with the player as well, and so all set for medical and contract signing. Liverpool will have a new top talent as defender. Giovanni Leoni from Parma to the Reds. He's a hero.
The backline still lacks consistency, and today his substitutions nearly cost them. This match didn't just reveal Liverpool's power, it revealed their path and the one flaw that could decide their season. Liverpool's title defence has begun.
Yeah, listen, Liverpool won the game full stop. That's the most important factor, I think, for Arne Slot. Getting that victory, getting 3 points, getting off to a good start to the campaign with so many changes in the lineup, 4 new arrivals starting for your football club. You've got to play well. You've got to put out a top-class performance as well. But if the top-class performance is not there, you still got to win the game, and Liverpool did exactly that.
And it began with chaos, emotion, and a reminder that this team can hurt you in more ways than one.
I just think they've got far too many weapons, and if it's not in the starting 11, it's on the bench for Arne Slot.
The night at Anfield wasn't just about football, it was a night heavy with feeling, with chants and banners honouring the late Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, both tragically lost in a car crash in July. The atmosphere carried a strange blend of grief and anticipation, a stadium poised to celebrate the champion's return, yet still reeling from a loss far greater than any in football. But before the game could truly settle, an uglier side of the sport reared its head. Midway through the first half, Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo stopped play, informing referee Anthony Taylor that he had been subjected to racist abuse from the stands. The match froze. Taylor called over both managers Arne Slot and Andoni Iraola, and after a tense exchange, an anti-discrimination message echoed around the stadium. Football resumed, but the weight of the moment lingered in the air.
Yeah, just totally unacceptable. Kind of been shocked, to be honest, that it happened this day and age. It shouldn't be happening. I mean, I don't know how Ant's played on, to be honest, and come up with them goals, and just it's totally unacceptable. And I just, if anything, I just feel sorry for Ant in there. You know, it's a little bit down, obviously, and to carry on playing, it's just something needs to be done. And taking a knee and doing this is just—it's not having no effect. So, yeah, we'll support him in there, and yeah, hopefully it'll be okay.
And yet, when the game flowed, it was wild, open, and ruthless. Diogo, the new weapon in Slot's arsenal, took his moment with clinical precision, announcing himself to the Kop with the kind of finish that whispers, 20 goals is just the start.
Here's Ekitike again, looking to provide one. He might forget what he has! He got the break he wanted!
Liverpool's dominance seemed to solidify early in the second half when Cody Gakpo smashed in the second.
Here comes Gakpo. Still Gakpo. It's just too good. It's a sparkling Liverpool goal on the opening night.
The champions looking like they would cruise to victory. But Semenyo, who had already been Liverpool's biggest headache all night, refused to fade. First, he punished a lapse in defensive concentration to pull one back just past the hour.
Here goes Brooks. Semenyo moving at pace. Here he is! And scores!
Then, in a moment that made the home fans hold their breath, he surged from one penalty area to the other, Liverpool's defenders backpedaling in disarray, before calmly levelling the score with 14 minutes left. Anfield turned tense. Every misplaced pass carried a groan, every Bournemouth counter carried a threat. But then came the moment of redemption and poetry. On his very first appearance of the season, with only his second touch of the ball, substitute Federico Chiesa curled in a magnificent finish into the far corner, restoring Liverpool's lead with just 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
What a ball, what a touch by the goalkeeper. Comes out, oh, Chiesa!
The eruption from the stands was deafening, a mix of relief and triumph. And as if to seal the statement, Mohamed Salah, the ever-reliable king of Anfield, struck a fourth in stoppage time.
Salah! The final boss!
A perfect finish to a night that had been anything but straightforward. Now we need to talk about Hugo Ekitike, the man of the match, and just how frightening Liverpool's new signings really are. Arne Slot opened his Premier League journey in classic, calculated fashion with a 4-2-3-1 that looked every bit like a statement of intent. Between the posts, Alisson Becker stood like an immovable wall. In the heart of defence, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk formed the backbone, flanked by Milos Kirets on the left, eager to make his mark against his former club, and the explosive Jeremy Frimpong on the right. Sitting in the double pivot, Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister controlled the rhythm, while Florian Wirtz operated as the number 10, the German jewel given total creative freedom. To his left, Cody Gakpo roamed with menace. To his right, the eternal king of Anfield, Mohamed Salah, prowled for weaknesses. And leading the line, Hugo Ekitike, Bournemouth's nightmare made flesh. Who needs Alexander Isak when Liverpool's new number 9 is already writing his own script? Ekitike, fresh from scoring in the Community Shield.
Ekitike. He's worked the shooting chance! Oh, that will certainly do for starters!
Marked his Premier Scene League debut with another composed finish, sliding the ball past a helpless Georgia Petrovic after a fortunate 1-2 off Marcos Senesi. Signed from Eintracht Frankfurt for £69 million, the Frenchman didn't just score, he dictated, dropping deep, linking play with one-touch flicks, bullying defenders in duels, and finding clever pockets of space. He looked every bit the complete forward slot demanded.
Lo compró el Paris Saint-Germain a 35 millones de euros, cómo lo termina vendiendo por menos de la mitad y cómo resurge en 2 temporadas en Alemania para doblar la primera cotización que había tenido cuando lo compró el Paris Saint-Germain. Cerca de los 90 ahora, ¿no? Y sí, en total sí.
His assist for Gakpo's goal after the break was a perfect snapshot of his intelligence in tight spaces.
Ekitike's movement, very sharp and very clever again. Here comes Gakpo. It's just too good.
The frightening part, this wasn't even Ekitike at his clinical best. He missed a couple of headers he'd normally bury, yet still ended the night as the most dangerous player on the pitch. And he wasn't alone. This was a baptism for Liverpool's summer recruits. Florian Wirtz showing flashes of brilliance despite still adjusting to Premier League pace. Frimpong delivering the jet-powered overlaps that made him a slot priority. And Kerkez, solid in defence and eager to hurt his old employers. But when Kerkez and Frimpong left the field, Bournemouth found oxygen. Semenyo's goal made it clear. Without their blistering recovery speed, Liverpool's back line is mortal. And that's a problem Slot can't ignore. Since the 2012-13 Premier League season, Liverpool have never lost an opening day fixture streak that speaks to their ability to start strong.
At the end of the day, the story will always be Liverpool got the match done, they got their 3 points, they move on to the next game. I don't think many people will remember this match at the end of the season.
But this time, their flawless record wasn't the only headline. The officiating crew and VAR delivered a performance so poor it bordered on insulting. 13 minutes into the match, the first VAR storm of the season erupted. Senesi, positioned near the halfway line but acting as Bournemouth's last man, found himself chasing a ball Salah had hooked forward for Ekitike to run onto. The Argentine took it on his left thigh, but the bounce threatened to send it spinning perfectly into the striker's path. And then panic. Senesi swiped his arm towards the ball, knocking it away from Ekitike and killing the chance stone dead. Referee Anthony Taylor somehow missed the entire thing and waved play on. Ekitike was stunned. He'd been denied a one-on-one run, even if it was from distance. Replays only made the decision look worse. This wasn't an accidental ricochet off the thigh onto the arm. Senesi reached for it, in a second, deliberate motion, changing its flight entirely. Instead of a Liverpool free kick or a potential red card for denying a goal-scoring opportunity, play bizarrely restarted with a Bournemouth free kick for an unrelated handball by Gakpo seconds later. The irony, later in the half, a lucky deflection off Senesi ended up sending Ekitike clean through for his debut goal. In the dugout, Arne Slot and his staff were furious as they watched the slow-motion replays on their monitors. VAR had reviewed the moment, but ruled it not a clear handball offence and not a venial of a goal-scoring opportunity due to the distance from the goal. It was the first real reminder of the season that, in England, controversy is as much part of the football as the ball itself. But now we need to talk about why are Liverpool so fragile defensively. The champions seem to be cruising towards a comfortable home win after going 2 goals up early in the second half. Yet, just like in pre-season, their defensive cracks were there for all to see. When Semenyo pulled one back, both the Anfield crowd and Liverpool's players suddenly looked nervous. Throughout pre-season, it was the same story. The team couldn't find defensive consistency.
That Liverpool right now looks really vulnerable at the back. Don't forget, Keita is true that he struggled today, had a lot of problems to hold in that left side on his own.
In 6 matches against Preston, AC Milan, Yokohama Marinos,
Lovely ball, really good run as well. Uenaka!
Athletic Bilbao twice.
So the corner for Athletic.
They conceded in every single game. The only exception came against Stoke City, a behind closed doors friendly, where they finally kept a clean sheet. Slot has been open about the need to tighten things up at the back. His side managed just 1 clean sheet in those 6 friendlies, and their flaws were exposed again by Crystal Palace in the Community Shield.
This time! Oh! And so is Ismail Assar!
For the first goal here, Dominic Szoboszlai gave the ball away, and Bournemouth were instantly in behind, with David Brooks sliding across for Semenyo to finish from close range. Then, as Liverpool chased a third to restore their cushion, a sloppy Salah pass on the edge of the Bournemouth box sparked a 4-on-2 counter. Van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate backpedaled, waiting for support, but Semenyo kept carrying the ball, cut inside at the edge of the area, and buried it past Alisson. New signing Giovanni Leoni watched from the stands. But the issue wasn't just individual errors, the defensive structure itself still looks shaky. Bournemouth have the weapons to hurt you. Yet for much of the first half, Liverpool kept them quiet. At 2-0 though, Slot's call to take off both starting fullbacks, on the hour bringing in Andy Robertson and Wataru Endo seemed to hand Bournemouth fresh belief. Just like against Palace at Wembley, both goals they conceded came from cheaply giving the ball away. Now we have to talk about the player who lived the most beautiful moment of the whole night.
And when you've got a weapon like Chiesa coming off the bench, who's still looking to impress, who's still looking to say, I belong here. And I know we saw the rumours about him potentially leaving the football club this summer, but I still think he's a massive, impactful player.
Liverpool needed a hero. Normally that role belongs to Salah. In the future they hope it will be Ekitike or Wirtz. But tonight it was none of them. It was Federico Chiesa's night.
Goalkeeper comes out. Oh, Chiesa!
Few expected the Italian to even be wearing red by the time the new Premier League season kicked off.
I just spoke to my dad. He cannot leave, bro. Put that guy in chains. He's not going nowhere. Shackles. He's not going nowhere.
Chiesa can't leave. That's what Tom's saying.
Chiesa, you're staying, my brother. The same way Newcastle fans are saying, Isak, you need to stay. Yo, Chiesa.
Our number 14, yeah?
After arriving late last August from Juventus, he barely featured just 14 appearances in all competitions, totaling 466 minutes, and not a single Premier League goal. His debut season was one to forget. Even in the Community Shield, when Liverpool were crying out for fresh legs in attack, the Slot left him on the bench. The message seemed clear. Chiesa wasn't in his plans. And with the club bringing in Hugo Ekitike and potentially Alexander Isak, his chances look slimmer than ever.
What did you make of his performance? And also, do you think Arne Slot's maybe looking at all this and saying, well, do I need Alexander Isak, particularly considering the amount of money he's going to cost?
It's quite ridiculous to think that the offensive weapons they have right now, and they're potentially looking at spending that type of money to bring another one to the football club. Take nothing away from Alexander Isak. He's a fabulous footballer, and you know that, obviously, watching the Geordies so closely.
But football has a way of rewriting scripts in an instant. With Liverpool's 2-goal lead gone and time slipping away, Slot finally called his number in the 82nd minute. Moments later, the ball sat up perfectly for him, and Chiesa smashed it into the corner, sending Anfield into chaos. Salah would add a fourth in stoppage time, but it was Chiesa's strike that broke Bournemouth's spirit. What he showed tonight was more than just quality, it was mental steel. Lesser players might have sulked or switched off after being overlooked for so long. Chiesa seized his chance, clung to the few minutes he was given, and made them count. A professional to the core, and mentally a phenomenon. If there's any justice, this goal will be the start of more minutes, and maybe a new chapter for Federico Chiesa at Anfield. Arne Slot now faces an urgent mission, fixing Liverpool's defensive line, which at times lets opponents glide through in transition as easily as water flowing down a river. As Jamie Carragher bluntly put it, the current standards simply won't cut it. Jamie Carragher hit out at Liverpool's unbelievable and absolutely shocking defending in their 4-2 win over Bournemouth, saying they will not retain their Premier League title if they continue with those standards. Both of Semenyo's goals saw Liverpool caught out on the transition, with Bournemouth's second goal seeing the young forward run nearly the length of the pitch before finding the bottom corner. That's why the rapid integration of Giovanni Leoni is non-negotiable. The new centre-back needs to be ready as soon as possible, because right now, Ibrahima Konate looks more distracted by Real Madrid rumours than focused on the matches at Anfield. His performance against Bournemouth was a genuine disappointment. He was directly responsible for both goals. Carragher hit out at Ibrahima Konate, who he felt was responsible for poor defending for both goals. "It is unbelievable," said Carragher on Friday Night Football after the game. "It's fantastic from Semenyo, but Liverpool have had this problem. How many players were ahead of the ball, maybe 8 players, when they were winning 2-1? That can't happen. It's absolutely shocking at this level. For Semenyo to run that far and get his shot away is incredible, but where Konate is going, he had a really poor night tonight at centre-back. Once the defensive leaks are patched, Slot's next job is to make Florian Wirtz feel completely comfortable in this system. When that happens, Liverpool's attack won't just be good, it will be devastating. Because from what we've already seen, this offence is a Ferrari. Adding Wirtz will make it the finest tuned Ferrari in the Premier League. The creativity, speed and precision he can bring will unlock defences in ways few players in Europe can.
And this kid is special.
This is the type of signing that is saying to the Premier League, Liverpool is here for sheer dominance and they want to try to dominate the league for years
They're
to come.
putting everyone on notice.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch some players play and there's just something special about them, they've got that magic.
Yeah.
The way they strike the ball, how he doesn't need... he needs a moment's space just to get a shot off and find the pass. I think he's going to be magic.
But before that vision becomes reality, Liverpool have 2 brutal tests ahead that will measure Slot's ability to correct defensive flaws. First, a trip to St James Park to face Newcastle, a team with relentless energy, aerial power, and a home crowd that roars like a storm.
Great for Longstaff, what a moment for Isak!
Then a high-voltage showdown at Anfield against Mikel Arteta's Super Arsenal, featuring Victor Gyökeres.
Zubimendi first time, and the header! Brilliantly delivered by Victor Gyökeres to give Arsenal the lead!
Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka twisting!
And a front line that thrives on punishing every mistake. For Liverpool, these matches are more than just early season fixtures, as they are a referendum on Slot's fixes, and perhaps the first true sign of whether this team can defend their crown.